Hola, it's Kaipacho with the weekly Pele report, and yeah, it's raining, so I'm not going too far, but I wanted to just really look at these bananas with you today. This is the first bunch. There's 4 of them. Yeah, and I just love these bananas. I love nature. Last week I talked about natural law. We could talk a little bit more about natural law. But first, let's just kind of get into some of these aspects. This I wanted to show you. This is a brand new. Look at this brand new one. Look at the spiral. How that baby is opening up. You see that? That is just awesome. So the moon is in Cancer. Speaking of springing up, newborn banana, and it's moving into Leo. By Friday, so things will be lightening up. I mean, as it's going through Cancer, of course, it will be opposing the whole Capricorn boardroom up there, right? And then it's going to go into Leo, lighten up a little bit, and then spend a couple of days in Leo, and then head on over into Virgo, opposing Neptune, right? Squaring the moon's nodes, so that even squaring the sun. So we're going to have our 3rd quarter square also, and that is coming up. Let's see, that is exact on. I mean, am I a bad astrologer or what? Freaking. Where's the sun square the moon, man? I don't know. It's like next Monday or something. Look at this banana here, though. Check this baby out. This is the new one. See, that and those, it's a huge, big dong coming down there. And then the leaves of the dong open up and the little baby bananas come out. And that leaf then falls down. See, those are the leaves from the dong as the bananas emerge out of there. Yeah, so that's very special. The moon is then moves through Virgo, and by Tuesday makes it into Libra. Let's go up here for the 4th. Here's the 4th banana. Gang. Absolutely great. Loving these bananas. And the thing was, I was going to come out and, take the machete and chop off some of these, the dead ones. But, death is a part of life, and I didn't want to do that. It's particularly with Venus going through Scorpio, the sign of death. She's going to be trining Neptune on Saturday, in conjunct Mars also. And then on Sunday, she's also in conjunct Mars. And moving along, I am going to just come along and back up, getting soaking wet because the rain kind of got a little farther. Mostly today I want to talk about Eris square Pluto and Jupiter coming into its final closure, the balsamic phase conjunction with Saturn. Yeah, so let me look at the camera. Get serious. What do we want to talk about today? Astrology. What we're doing is we are coming off of that lunar eclipse. Okay, and the moon is wrapping around, coming to a 3rd quarter square, right? So we are in this phase. The moon is waning. Okay, it builds up. That 4th quarter is at 16 degrees Virgo. And we've got Neptune over there at 19 degrees of Pisces, 18 degrees. And we've got the nodes at 19. So it's a very tight grand cross is what they call it in astrology. That is next Monday coming up. Okay, that 3rd quarter square. So she's growing smaller. What goes around comes around. So again, it's kind of a closure after that full moon. She's closing things up. And I've been talking about this, closing things up. Ending, finishing, completing. And it's a long ending. The first vision that comes to mind is remodeling. It's like we're remodeling our lives. We're remodeling the world. We're remodeling our identities. And I used to, buy old fixer-upper houses and fix them up, remodel them. Sometimes I would add on a room, but mostly I would just like gut the place. You gut the place. Pull off the ceiling, the moldy stuff, pull off the sheetrock, pull out the windows, get rid of those old doors. Okay, lift up the carpet and see what, redo the floors and the lights and the fixtures and everything. I mean, and this is what 220 has been about. 220 has been about tear it down, rip it out, get rid of the old moldy carcasses, whatever, get those nests out of the walls and just open the life out, air it out, empty it out, let it go. Whoosh! Jupiter, Pluto. Jupiter's the great, Pluto is letting go. This has been the great year of letting it go. And next year will be the remodel. Okay, so we're at this turning point now, and I want to keep just saying this Jupiter Saturn, it is on December 21st. I can't wait for December 21st. The astrology of December 21st is absolutely amazing. By that time, the sun is moving into Capricorn, but also Mars is going to come into an exact conjunction with Eris, who I just want to call Kali. Eris is Kali. And these are at 23 degrees of Aries, exactly square Pluto at 23 degrees of Capricorn. At the same time that Jupiter and Saturn are exactly conjunct at 0 degrees of Aquarius. On the same day, Black Moon Lilith has moved forward into an exact conjunction with Uranus. It's like, it's all really like, I'm going to say that, this is, boom, it's the final tear down, destroy, remove, cleanse, clean, clear out, wipe out. Whether it's a hurricane or a fire or a relationship or a job or an economy or, this has just been wipe out. And Mars, Mars went up to like 28 degrees Aries. It's coming back through, and it's just like whack, whack, whack. You ever have boom, boom, boom? This is Mars came by the first time over the summer in June and July. July, boom, Mars comes through, bam. And then it goes retrograde, right? September, October, bam. And now it's coming back for the third pass, bam. It's like, 3 strikes, in baseball, right? In the old US of A, you get 3 strikes, and this is it, 3 strikes. I think they had that for drunk driving, right? You could get 3 speeding tickets, but your 3rd speeding ticket, you went to jail or whatever, right? So there's this whole kind of a thing with 3. The law of 3, the Trinity, the Trine, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. This magical number of 3. It's just like, by the 3rd time, you've got to get it. So this is really very powerful. Saturn went into Aquarius. A taste of the future. Came back into Capricorn. Now is going direct for that 3rd pass. So we have this whole kind of energy coming up to this end of the year, end of 2020, end of Jupiter-Saturn 20 year, end of the age of Pisces, end of Kali Yuga, end of patriarchy, end of Trump, end of. There's, end of what was normal, right? It's like there's the norm, the conventional. Capricorn has to do with the conventional, the established routines and ways that we've been doing things as a patriarchy for thousands of years. This is a new age emerging. And like this mantra today says, there is this tearing down, letting go, removing. It's scary. We are vulnerable. It's just like changing clothes. You've got to get naked. Like you're going swimming and you go into the locker room, and especially if it's a little cold, or better yet, you're swimming out in some mountain lake, or something. But you strip down and it's just like, you're vulnerable. And we have these inconjunct aspects. Venus inconjunct Mars. This week from Scorpio over to Aries. Okay, we've got some other inconjunct aspects, going on. And this inconjunct is an adjustment where we have to make these adjustments out of the known, secure, and familiar into the unknown, unfamiliar, and this is this point of we don't know what's coming. We don't know if things are going to be okay, or the vaccine, or the virus is going to go away, or herd immunity, or we don't know what lies beyond in 2021. Astrology does give us kind of a view into what's coming, and I can talk more about that later. But today I want to talk about the phase that we are in, and how there is kind of a judgment. Jupiter and Saturn, and I talked about Sagittarius and Capricorn. This is morality, ethics, natural law, and also man-made laws, man-made religions, man-made police departments, man-made governments, okay? And it's just like this whole realm. And are the laws serving us or blocking us? Saturn is boundaries. Jupiter is a lot. Jupiter comes around to Saturn, and it is a lot of boundaries. Jupiter is also expansion. Right now, we expand by saying no. We expand by holding boundaries. We expand through self-discipline, through self-control, through maturing. Jupiter is big, Saturn is maturity and growth. This is a stage of big growth, and it takes big responsibility. And there's a lot, Jupiter, of duty, Saturn. And so this is a real, it's kind of a growth spurt. It's like the bananas emerging out of that flower into the fruit. We are now like flowers, that are going to bear fruit. And this is a slow, time-consuming process. And in the meantime, we are very delicate. That bud, that new banana, or that new flower is extremely delicate, is extremely vulnerable, and it's very afraid, it's very scared, it's very, vulnerable. It could easily be hurt, crushed, killed. And here's where I want to get into a little bit of this new word, conspirituality. Conspirituality, is it conspiracy or spiritual. It's put together. And I just want to point out that during this time period of Neptune squaring the moon's nodes, of maybe getting stripped of a lot of our illusions, getting stripped maybe of a lot of our dreams or a lot of our fantasies, like Icarus, that youthful, innocent, flying with his new wings made of wax, flies too close to the sun. The wax melts, and Icarus falls to the sea. And we have the north node of the moon in Gemini. I did a little interview. Oh, I did all about Gemini for the community. I have a community, the New Paradigm community. You join that, and I do weekly, videos and things. And I talked about Gemini, not just Castor and Pollux, but Clytemnestra and Helen. They were quadruplets, not just twins. They have a lot to do with the light and the dark, the heavenly and the earthly. Yeah? I'm not going to go into that Gemini right now because I just really want to make this point that very often, and particularly in the patriarchy, particularly in the old ways, in the old days, vulnerability or fear was seen or labeled as weakness. And that if you were afraid, it's because you were weak, or you're a baby, or you're a wimp, or there's something, like you're not tough, you're not strong, you're not big, you're not, we have this masculine Mars definition of what it is to be strong. And that did not include fear. And I just want to, and part of this can also then be that during this threshold experience, this is a time, like I say, we're going through the eye of the needle. We're going through the birth canal. We're crossing the bridge to the new age, to a new paradigm. And it's just like in Costa Rica, you have a couple of lanes and they narrow down to the one lane bridge, and it's a traffic jam. Or the boat, we're all loading onto a boat, and that boat is sailing towards the new age or the new paradigm, and you can only take so much with you. I think of going through TSA, and having them take my water bottle, or take my toothpaste, or, take stuff. You can't take this with you on the plane, One time they even took my razor, for shaving. It was like, come on. This is like, you can't take it with you. It's a death. It's an ending. Saying goodbye. Can I live without that? Can I do without that? It is natural to be afraid. It's okay to be afraid. Be afraid. Yes, the virus might kill you. You're right. And there can be people that go into denial. Oh, don't be afraid. Don't be suckered into fear. Okay, you be fearless, like be Icarus, like ignore reality, ignore danger. This is kind of a Neptunian, Piscean danger right now, is to go into illusions and lies and deceive ourselves, self-delusion. Okay, we've got one sitting up there in the White House right now. I refuse to accept reality. I refuse to accept what is and has been proven and reproven. And this is so demonstrative. This is such a mirror for very many of us who want to deny the reality. And we are having our noses rubbed in reality. Let go of our illusions. And what helps us do that is not by denying our fear. Feel our fear, but don't let it stop us. This is Chiron in Aries. And this is where astrology comes in. And this is what the mantra is about. Evolution and life occurs according to cycles. Look at nature. Nature shows us. The banana comes up, it ripens, you eat it, or it falls, it dies, the leaves die. Look at the brand new leaves. Look at those beautiful brand new leaves. And then what happens? The wind comes along, the storms come along, and they get ripped to shreds, right? And then they turn brown and fall off and die. This is just, and it's just like winter, spring, summer, and fall. It's just life. After every night, there is another day. After every death of a banana, there is the birth of a new banana. The seed must die that it is born again. The cycles of unfolding, the cycles of becoming. We go through these. Jupiter every 12 years, Mars every 2 years, Saturn every 28 years. We have all these cycles. We're in this lunar cycle is really, so you can really get a sense, okay? Just the monthly lunar cycle. But even the daily cycle is so powerful, yeah? So astrology tells us, nature tells us, it's okay to let go. It's okay to be afraid. Being vulnerable is a part of any new beginning, any reaching into the unknown, any evolutionary process involves a natural sense of fear of the unknown, and that fear is healthy. It's not weak, stupid, or to be ignored. It's like our fear can guide us. Our fear can help us. Our fear can save us from breaking an arm, from driving off a cliff, okay, from, a certain amount of fear is good for us. Do not be afraid to be afraid. It's kind of the mantra for today, right, man? Oh, my goodness. Ow! Yes, indeed. So when in a big transition, it's okay to be afraid. But I let go, knowing that after the night comes another day. Yeah? Our feelings are what brings us into being human. It brings us into our emotions. Our emotions and feelings have been suppressed and repressed through patriarchal conditioning for thousands of years. But Venus in Scorpio is saying, feel those feelings. The moon today in Cancer, the moon coming into Cancer, still in Gemini, but, coming into, yeah? It actually is at like 1 degree of Cancer right now, so I'm feeling my feelings. And they're a little bit of chaos. It's a little bit of a chaotic Pele report today. Not linear, logical. I started with point A, B, C, D. Feelings and emotions are not like that. So feel these feelings. It's okay to not be reasonable, logical, rational, da 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 da. And feelings come up, fears come up, memories come up, traumas are relived. It's all this stuff kind of comes up and reemerges. It makes us human, and it brings us into a mature acceptance of reality and of how we can help each other and work together, and how we need each other. And human needs are beautiful, and they are what makes us human. And the idea of Superman and Wonder Woman is not going to carry us together into the age of Aquarius. Those are, kind of old archetypes of the hero and the heroine saving the day through their own unique individuality. Aquarius is, we are in this together. Global consciousness. We have global pandemics. We have global warming. We have global economies. We're going global. Ready or not, like it or not, we are in this tapestry together. And we can fight it as much as we want, and we can polarize as much as we want, but the ultimate acceptance will lead to peace and prosperity and love for all. So today's song, first of all, somebody sent me a song that they do. I'm going to put that in the notes. The link for the songs that I always do, I got all kinds of links. They're in the notes below the YouTube. I've had comments of people like, where's that song or whatever. The links are in the notes. But I'm thinking of, nature and how nature is our teacher. And being out in nature helps us to relax, helps us to center, helps to calm our fears as we see the new buds or the new mushrooms pop up overnight, and the old trees fall down, and new, trees emerging out of old trunks. And I mean, it's just, you see all the different stages of life you can witness just going through on a walk in nature. So the cycles reveal themselves, and it gives us a calm soothing. When we remove ourselves from nature, we lose that, and we don't see that, and we're not surrounded with that, and we surround ourselves with concrete jungles, and it doesn't create that same sense of calmness and peace and strength, inner strength. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I'll repeat this mantra one more time. When in a big transition, it's okay to be afraid, but I let go, knowing that after the night comes another day. May we all enter the night knowing, having faith and hope that another day, another dawn will be rising. Yeah. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.